all the rain, but it looks like it already dried up. Usually flows the best in the spring of the year with the melting of the winter snow, but not unusual for it to be dried up by this time of the year. Now these next three coves are called the painted coves. Now keep track of your colors here. The blues and greens are copper seepage, the white is calcium, the reds and oranges are iron ore. And as you can see, this first cove is mostly all iron ore seepage, or as I like to call it, rust. From trip to trip, sometimes it's even season to season. Now with that being said, with the advent of cell phones and everybody snapping pictures and videos all the time, some of this stuff has gotten captured. Now as you look in the shore here, you can see a rather large pile of rubble along the shoreline. That cave-in actually occurred back in 2021. And there was a couple guys that were out here in a pontoon boat kind of screwing around, and they were taking some video with their cell phone. And they were just coming along this section of cliff. And as they were videoing it, that entire section fell off at the top portion of the cliff right in front of them. And they both kind of freaked out a little bit. And Buddy was looking at his friend who was driving and yelled at him, back up, Brad, but they got the whole thing on video and they uploaded it to YouTube. So if you're interested in watching that video, it's going to be a great place to catch the rainbow trout in the spring run. Now, Mosquito Harbor was the site of a bad shipping accident back in the 40s when the ore carrier Sparta ran aground here in a November snowstorm. Now, it's said that boat ran so far up in the beach that the crew was able to step off her decks without even getting their feet wet. Now, Mosquito Harbor is also a favorite stopping spot for the backpackers and the kayakers along the Lakeshore Trail, but not seeing too many in there right now today. They were kind of wandering around earlier. They're probably hunkering down for the night at their campsites. These are caves of all colors. These are kind of a favorite with the people kind of hanging out at Mosquito Beach here. They'll kind of swim out to these caves and hang out for the day. Maybe watch the cruise boats go by or catch a sunset. Every once in a while, I think they like to moon us. Now down at the end of these caves, you can see a large vertical crack in the rock. I've been told that that's actually a fault line. Supposedly, those holes you see high on the left used to match up with those low on the right. Leaf is featured in advertisements for Pictured Rocks. There's usually some kayakers swimming underneath there or some boats coming through there. And I know what you guys are thinking to be really cool, Captain Bellico. We took this boat through there, but unfortunately that's not happening because water depth under Lover's Leap is only a couple feet deep, and this boat takes a little more draft than that, and we probably get ourselves into the kind of trouble we don't want to get into. Hole in it is called Rainbow Cave. If you look closely into Rainbow Cave, you might be able to see some of that groundwater dripping from the cave into the lake. It almost looks like it's raining inside of Rainbow Cave. A little hard to see with the chop on the water, but that groundwater does flow all year long. And of course, in the wintertime, it helps to form huge icicles all the way along the Pictured Rocks cliffs. You also might be able to see some of the copper seepage on the upper portions of Rainbow Cave there. It's kind of an emerald colored up there, if you can make that out. Tannic acid. Tannic acid flows from the roots of the trees and the mosses that grow on top of the rock. It's the same acid that's found in tea, gives it its brownish color. Also gives many of the rivers and streams in this area that same brownish tinge. There are images on the sides of the cliff. Now these images will typically appear in the actual shape of the rock, but sometimes people see these images in the way that the groundwater stain kind of flows down the side. Now, over the years, I've had people come up and point out pretty much everything and anything you can imagine. The other day, I had a young girl come up. She tried to point out the profile of Taylor Swift to me. Yeah, I know. They say you have to have a pretty good imagination to pick these things out. I don't know. I kind of think it has a little bit to do with maybe what you ate or drank the night before. You can pick out, though, Indian Head Rock, or as the Native Americans used to call it, Gitche Manitou, or the Great Spirit. Now, this Great Spirit has weathered many storms out here in Lake Superior. And you can see how the winds and the weather have helped to sculpture his headdress. Indian Head Rock is about 180 feet high. Over the years, I've had quite a few people ask me, Captain Belko, how deep is the water in through here? And I don't know, I usually tell them to take a look at the Indian. He's in it right up to his neck. Grand Portal, and according to the official charts, the cliffs around Grand Portal are the highest of all the pictured rocks. They top out at right around 229 feet high. Now, it said there used to be a number of caverns that connected onto Grand Portal that were said to cover some 6 acres. And it said those caverns were so large you could pull a boat this size right into them and turn it around. But they, of course, all came crashing down way back in 1906. In just a second here, we're going to turn the corner and I'll try to get you up a little bit closer to the front face of Grand Portal, just to give you a sense of how high these cliffs really are. We call them Indian drums, and the reason is that there's a noise kind of associated with these drums. It's heard when a 15 or 20 foot wave comes crashing into these cliffs. Now, some people try to tell me that it sounds like dynamite, and other people say it sounds like thunder. I don't really know, and I don't really... Any of you people ever done anything like this before? Yeah, neither have I. Now, if you look down, you're looking down at about 15 feet of water now. Now, don't everybody look over the same side, please. Chapel Lake. A little farther up in that is Upper Chapel Falls, which is also another beautiful waterfalls in this area to check out. Now, to get to all these areas, it does take a little bit of hiking. Chapel Falls is probably a 1 mile hike from the trot and if you take a look, you'll notice there's a lone white pine tree sitting right up on top of that rock formation. As you pass by, you'll notice its roots extend over to the main portion of the cliff. Now, there used to be a rock archway that supported those roots, but it caved in well over 100 years ago. Somehow that tree has managed to live on.